Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they do battle with the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, first opened way back in 1972. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the Houston Texans. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes now in his 3rd season in the league, leading the Chiefs onto the field, and boy, when the Chiefs traded starting quarterback Alex Smith before 2018, a lot of people were wondering how good Patrick Mahomes could be, and he showed the entire league how good he could be, racking up over 5,000 yards and tied for second most passing touchdowns in a season with 50 of them, and he was handed the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year awards. To throw, it's Mahomes. This is caught by Robinson. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Mahomes now to throw. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Well, last year, Chris Conley was the 3rd option at receiver for Kansas City. He shipped off to Jacksonville. Now they're hoping that Robinson can help fill that void. And Andy Reid has said that he and Mahomes are developing a great rapport, hoping to improve upon the 22 times they connected last season. The numbers last week for Shady McCoy. 14 carries, 54 yards.
I'm so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
LaShawn McCoy, yes, he deserves the spotlight. This guy's one of the most talented backs in the NFL, both receiving and rushing. In fact, over 1,000 yards 6 times in his NFL career. Look for LaShawn McCoy to be one of the top producers in the NFL this season.
And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 24-yard line. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They go back to the ground with McCoy. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. A run through the starters defensively for the Texans. And they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes is for his running back, McCoy. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
So here are the Texans under their 6th-year head coach, Bill O'Brien. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out here with a jet sweep and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Watson now to throw. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 41-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Dorian O'Daniel, the linebacker from Clemson.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. He's to the 10. It's complete. Stills. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 19 carries, 85 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Carlos Hyde, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Texans have taken the lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe the sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Well, later tonight, we have more football, Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with the powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a draw play. This is McCoy. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Darren Lee there to get him down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson, it's complete to Hopkins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Watson and the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards.
Check 53.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston.
Let's go, touchdown.
Carlos Hyde. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's McCoy. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return, Carter. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Anthony Hitchens, 2nd in the AFC in tackles last year, there to bring him down. From the 25 on 2nd down. Watson. Johnson's got it complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Watson now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Off of play action, it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. He finds his man Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Buying time to his left. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Mahomes now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Mahomes to throw once more. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Mahomes again. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Now that was not the long, drawn-out drive that you were talking about when it started. Anything but.
I saw this drive going a little differently in my mind, partner.
I think we both did. Unable to really move it. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
53 is mine. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Hey,
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Chiefs defense here ready to head back out onto the field. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On second down, Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Throwing on third down, Watson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. They were looking for Johnson that time. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Mahomes now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Demarcus Robinson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And thanks to the interception, the Chiefs offense cashes in with 6. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up the lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
The first down carry here for Johnson. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson, he's going to look. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
Hey, check.
Again, it's McCoy, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here comes Carter. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Watson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Here we go.
On 2nd down and 4, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson going deep for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged, how big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
10th carry now for McCoy. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morris Claiborne. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, Brandon, this is a former first-round pick, and he's been a bit of a disappointment in his career up till now, but he's still got room to grow. And this is an excellent play right here to come away with the football.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. From the shotgun, it's a give to McCoy. And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. We're back now in KC. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He gets it to Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
All right, let's just go and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now here's Mahomes. Looking sideline, incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
No. Off.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. Again, it's Johnson. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. Watson now on third down. And he finds Stills, complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. On first down, Mahomes. He finds Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw, it's Mahomes. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Blake Bell, his second touchdown on the season, and the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to cash.
Chris Jones on the stop. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now,